Some Star Citizen overspend and regrets. From the last 3 years. $25,000. LEGATUS NAVIUM.
Once I went over 30K, I was kind of shocked. After 40K, I was embarrassed.
I've suddenly come to the realization that the $25,000 I've spent over the last 10 years could have been put towards things like a larger house deposit, paying off my car. Twice over.
I was one of the first backers and backed it to the tune of $35,000, and I feel like they've wasted my money, and I have every right to say as much.
When I first backed, I was a broke university student keen to play a game that sounded like it gave me everything I wanted. Over the years, I was suckered in by the video content, Citizencons, etc., and kept spending. Some 50% of my pledge ships are nowhere to be seen, but I kept jumping on the new concepts and getting drawn in by the hype around patch releases and Citizencons. Long story short, after some time thinking really hard about what I'd blown my money on, I've come to realize it was completely irrational.
Have dumped like 50K or more into the game. I know that's a shitload of money, and most of the money was spent within the first year. Sincerely, an idiot that believed in a game.
Kickstarter backer, about 40K invested. Have no desire to play games anymore. All accounts locked and will wait to see if any of my nieces or nephews turn out to be gamers.
With every patch I see the future of this game getting darker and darker, and the fact that every patch takes longer and longer can only indicate that at the core it's either a mess or just impossible.
$15,000. PRAETORIAN.
I call myself a fucking retard all the time because of it. I'm now 15K in.
Star Citizen will collapse, having never released any of the foundational promises made to the chumps or backers, however you prefer. And I'm saying that as a Praetorian.
All in all, I would never suggest anyone spend any money on SC. It's a rudimentary game lacking in any serious depth when compared to other games in the genre, and especially when compared to modern games as a whole.
Low impulse control, poor financial decisions, nothing else to spend money on, and wanting to help fund the development. I don't really spend much anymore, except the sub and around $50 per month. Also recommend to others not to spend money on the game, but most don't listen. Lol.
I could've got a car with the money I've spent on little fighters. It's simply not worth it.
Every major answer to these issues is some Lucy with the football promise of a future patch, some other technical boogeyman that needs to be tamed. And in the meantime, the concept sales with constant power creep and constant punching above their weight language to distract from the glacial pace of progress.
$10,000. Wing Commander.
Look, I want to see SC successful, or I'd have not poured over 10 grand into it. But my track record on backing stuff ain't great. I was a huge proponent of the Timex Sinclair home computers, which went defunct, the Handspring handset series, which was bought out and then went defunct, and the BlackBerry handsets, which went defunct. But don't let that get you down. I'm sure Star Citizen will be different.
I'm so impulsive I buy these things rather than a better computer to enjoy the game more. Running on a 10-year-old PC. Fuck my life.
I cannot even afford to have a healthy food where I live. But I saved a lot of money for the game, not because just I love the game or trust in Chris, also because I wanted to invest all what I can in the best game that will change the world for the best.
I justify it cause the gov gave me $8K in stimulus checks during COVID, so I said fuck it, we ball.
Fresh out of the service, young and dumb with a bunch of savings, full of regret.
The Ferrari sure looks beautiful, but the motor is busted.
$5,000. Space Marshal.
I got over 8K in. I'd take a refund right now or sell my account if it was possible. I also need the funds as I had to walk from my job of 23 years to look after my wife. But I just do not believe in this project, and I am not fooled by their marketing anymore.
Lord knows I'm all in. Over $5,000 and no regrets on it. Calling it a loss. Check back and annually just not give money anymore. Was close to Wing Commander.
As someone who has spent over $5,000, do not make the same mistake I did. The community is very good at getting you to invest in this project. Just wait and see.
At the 2014 Gamescom I was interviewed and I told them that I recently upgraded to a Super Hornet, and that is it. There was no way I'd spent more money. 6K later the video proof of my shame is still there on YouTube.
$180 bis jetzt. Und nicht mehr. Ich werde nicht mehr investieren, auf gar keinen Fall. No way.
I spent close to 8K on the game and even went to a Citizencon. Spoke to Chris Roberts and believed in what he was selling. The guy is a straight-up con man, and I hope he goes to jail for massive fraud. We will never get thousands of people per server like he promised because it's not possible.
No regrets because, without following the project as closely as I have, I wouldn't have such good examples of abysmal project management, piss-poor communication, and dipshit web store management. I'm fairly certain that I can attribute about 10K of my salary to things I learned by watching CIG sprint headfirst into predictable walls.
I feel somewhat sad that as a younger man I let FOMO literally take £5,000 away from me in the drop of a hat. But I also realize when I see more recent marketing that it's sadly the whole strategy.
$2,500. Grand Admiral.
Got sick to my stomach. Sold my shit on the gray market. I was an experienced trader, but I was still terrified that someone might scam me out of my investment. Oh, the irony.
Fell into the idea for a month or two that if I just bought another JPEG, it would finally all start coming together. It would finally start improving.
Literally want to give this shit away because I'm done with this. It's another instance of Chris Roberts aiming high and then shooting himself in the foot with his own mouth. I worked with him once before, I've seen this, nothing new here. They are simply taking in pledges as a revenue stream. 3 different developers and 1 board member I interviewed have confirmed that server meshing is impossible with current technology, but CR won't allow them to backtrack on it because it's his reputation on the line.
I feel partly responsible as an original backer, spending an insane amount of money thinking I'm supporting the project. Why would RSI stop the gravy train and actually release the games?
Got my money back in 2014. I used the money to install a new septic tank on my farm. Lol.
I paid $3K during the Kickstarter with funds I got working at a restaurant after high school. 2 years later I went, well fuck.
They have complete development ADHD. I wish I could get back the almost 3K I dropped being excited for this game.
$1,000. High Admiral.
For some of us it is already too late. Save yourselves.
I have some friends who work in games. One told me there was no way he would go near this project with a 10-foot pole based on stories he was hearing, and that was years ago. But no, I spent thousands of dollars and hung on.
I can't take it anymore. There aren't any rationalizations that excuse the game for being in the state that it's in. I'm done. Chris Roberts is a con artist.
I realized SC makes me feel the same way NFT brothers and pump and dump scammers make me feel. Just blatant lack of empathy for people that just want to be happy and have no problem benefiting off other people's hope and loss.
10 years is a very long time to just load in, fall through an elevator, die and then crash your computer.
I try to stay away from SC website because I impulse bought my way into the concierge and I need to stop.
When I came in, there were some salty concierges, and I were like meh. And here we come full circle and I'm the salty older backer.
I hope I'm at least around to get back pennies on the dollar if there's ever a class action.
I've always defended Star Citizen and SIG. I also work in the gaming industry and I have developer colleagues who think SC is a scam, or rather a grift. Nah. I'm done. This won't come out in the next 20 years. Not saying this project is a scam, but it won't be what the grand visions have promised. Ever.
I had 2 fucking Banu merchantmen. 2 of them. With options to turn each into a Polaris. It was like a crazy person in a cell thinking he'd be king of the world one day. I don't justify it. It was multiple stupid decisions.